Make a quick video to show what curriculum we've been using for our two children that we homeschool. We have three kids, but one is only one. We're homeschooling my daughter who's in 3rd grade and my son who's in 1st grade, and this is what we've been doing so far. We're almost done with our school year, especially with my son, and I'll show what we're going to do next year in another video. But this is what we've been doing so far. My son is obsessed with space, so we've been using, there's a whole series of books with these. This is just one of them. They are told from a Big Bang view, so we've just gone over the Big Bang Theory with them and why we don't believe that it's true. We believe in creation. If you believe in the Big Bang Theory, that's okay. But we believe in creation, so just a warning, if you do get these books and you do believe in creation, you might want to consider how you want to present that. But he's learned a ton of stuff from this, and it has great pictures in it. So this is kind of like what it might look like. He finds it fascinating. I'm not quite as fascinated, but I do like all the actual pictures of how they look up close. I think that that's pretty neat. So that's one thing that we do. For language arts, we've been using this Sylvan book. I think somebody even gave this to us. I don't even know if I paid for it. But I really, really like it. Here's the table of contents. And there's lots and lots of games in it. It's very colorful, which he doesn't care as much for, but I do. And here's some examples of what it might look like. Sorry, he has this thing with scrolling on his work pages. I do not understand it, and it drives me nuts. But he does it a lot. So this is a good book. It's a really thick book. I mean, it has lots and lots of pages, and we just, for the most part, we'll do like the front and back of a page. Sometimes you can't, like with this, you have to do it like that. But for the most part, we try to do front and back of a page. This is his math. We've been doing Singapore math, which is, yeah, there it is. We've been using primary mathematics 1A and 1B. We did not really use the text, which is where the color is. We just used the workbooks, and it's covered a lot. He's very, very good at math. He liked that it was black and white. He doesn't like color, as I said, but he's very good at math. And he's really, a lot of times he'll just want to sit and do lots and lots of math. So he's almost done with the book. He has very, very little to go. It gets up to like multiplication and stuff, and he's really enjoyed doing it. He likes doing money and time, so he only has a couple pages left. I would recommend it. And I got this for when he's done, just because, like I said, he likes time and money a lot. And he could just keep doing this if he wants to. It was a cheap book. He only paid $1.29 for it. So, you know, it's just something extra if he's bored and he wants to do some more. For handwriting, we have A Reason for Handwriting, which I really, really like. I'm sure you could find these videos, but you start out and this would be one day's work. I make him trace it both times, and then he has to write it once, and if I think it looks okay, then I might not make him write it again. As you can see here, he didn't do so good up here, so I made him write it again down here. And then this would be day 2, day 3, and then day 4, there's a Bible verse. Some people have them just trace this. I do make him write it on the things in the back, and then he can color it in, and we can give it out as gifts. We've given it to his grandparents and stuff like that, so I really, really like this. We're going to use this again for him next year. I'm not sure about my daughter yet. I have to check into that. He's done the entire Hooked on Phonics program. This is level 5. It's the last box. And if you have never seen Hooked on Phonics, it has a workbook. And this is a bit of the inside of the workbook. So he'll read these. This box comes with cassettes. We don't have a cassette player. So I just have him read it. And if he has a problem with it, I'll read it first. And then it has stories in it. And the thing that he really likes about it is he likes to chart. And they get a chart, and for every story that they finish, they get to put a sticker on it. And he really, really likes it. For him, getting that I did it sticker at the end is a big, big deal for him. It's really a big deal for him. He enjoys getting it. So it's a good incentive. And then it has lots of books. These books are really nice, by the way. And it does come with cards. Sorry. It does come with cards, but I admit, we didn't even open it. I mean, I'm just not good with flashcards. I never know how to use them. So, he's almost done with that. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the program. It taught my son to read, so it really worked for him. We have these that are from Rod and Staff. I've enjoyed these books so much. I think they're so cute. And they've really helped with what he needs. You know, he can't cut and paste good, or at least he couldn't. He still can't cut very well, but he has at least learned to paste. So this is some of the stuff that you might have. Like, there's mazes, and you might have to cut stuff out and glue it in the right section, matching stuff. Today, what did we do today? Today we cut these out, and you had to put the things that help you to work with wood in the wood box, and the things that help you to work with paper in the paper box. Maybe it's a little bit young for first grade, but it came with the curriculum. We had originally chosen Heart of Dakota, and it came with it. And I have loved these books. I think they're so cute. And then we had printed this out for free. I admit that I forgot about it for the first half of the year. So we've just really started it. So we'll just continue it through second grade. And it is by Macmillan McGraw-Hill. And it's just spelling words. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. I just wanted spelling word lists where you have it and you do different things each day. And I always had one when I was in school, and it really helped me to learn to spell a lot. So we just do one side of a worksheet each day, and there's all different stuff that he could do, and he doesn't mind doing it. So that was just a little thing that we do. The things that we do together are we read our history books together. Right now we're reading this series of books, American Adventure books, and they're about a family who has 2 kids, John and Sarah, and how the first book was about coming over on the Mayflower, and then this book is about like the new frontier and being a pioneer, and we really like these books, and there's a whole series of them. There's like 40 of them. So that's what we kind of do for history. We're also reading this book, History Stories for Children. It starts with the Bible. We finished the whole first section of the Bible, and we just read about Alexander the Great. And they're just not very in-depth stories, but you'll read the story. Like, here's the story of Joseph. So you read the story. And then at the end, it has a couple of vocabulary words, and it has some comprehension questions. So I like this book. I think it's simple. It's not very in-depth, but it is what it is. I like the simplicity of it. We can get into more detailed history another time, but it introduces them to some of the characters in history, which is good. This is the Bible we've been reading, 101 favorite stories from the Bible. And so basically you read the story. It's not real long. It's just a page. It does have Bible scriptures that you could read with it, which I admit we have not read. And then there's a Bible verse over here that you could read. And there's some questions. So what I usually do is I read it and I ask my son the questions, because I know my daughter knows most of it, but I'm not sure about my son. A lot of it he hasn't known. And then, sorry, I got that glare there. And I love the pictures in it, and it's just a really nice book. We actually only have one story left. We're just about done. So it's been a great first grade Bible. I would definitely recommend that. We have been reading the Thornton Burgess books. There's a whole pile of them. Chatter the Red Squirrel, and then there was Uncle or Grandfather Frog and Reddy Fox. My daughter likes them. She likes stories about animals. My son, not so much. So, oh well. I have this pile of books. We've basically been doing simple zoology, just learning about different animals and learning about the different types of animals and classification and stuff. And so right now we're reading What is a Mammal? And it has really, really nice pictures inside. What is a mammal? And then it explains mammal's body and how it's different from other animals and a mammal's milk. But it has all these beautiful pictures. And so we've enjoyed this. We have a whole bunch of them. What is a marsupial? What is a whale? What is an amphibian? What is a fish? And I think we have more than that. So those are the things that we kind of do together. And, oh, and I have this for my son. It's just like a little space activity book. There's stickers and different activities for each day. And then for my daughter, she has one too, which is this. She has the cutest animals. So it's a nice book. My daughter has finished about half of this. It's a Bible study that's pretty in-depth, but since we started, she basically kept sitting in every time that I was doing Bible with my son. So I just said, you know what, that's your Bible study. We're doing it together. We read Psalms at night too. So for language arts, we're using Abeka. I absolutely love this book, and we'll be using it again for both the kids next year. And this is the inside. It talked about sentences. We covered punctuation. We covered kinds of sentences. And she just does a page a day. It's talked about capitalization, plural and singular, antonyms and synonyms, letter writing. And I really like this book. I definitely would want to use this again. It was exactly what I was looking for. Some of the other things we do are... My daughter's reading this book, Dreams and Dragons. This is the kind of reading book I had when I was a kid. And so she just reads a story or even half of a story a day. She also has to read a book of her choosing every day too. So for math, she does do teaching textbooks for math, but it was getting a little bit hard. Like with multiplication, she had a hard time keeping up with it. So we just stopped, and we're taking the rest of the year so that she learns her multiplication table. So I have this book for her, and she does a worksheet a day just to try to make it a little bit more fun. And then I had printed out all of her times tables and laminated it so that she could just say every single day, 9 times 1 equals 9, 9 times 2 equals 18. And she's like written them a couple times each, and she is starting to get it. But I think for the rest of the year, that's what we're going to work on. It's just multiplication, because teaching textbooks was going a little bit fast. And then I got her these multiplication learning cards that are princess, so they're cute and pink, and of course she likes it. For handwriting, we're doing cursive. The book that she uses is Zahner Blosser Handwriting. She doesn't like it too great. I mean, I'm not going to write home about it, but it serves its purpose, and it was free. So I got her this at Ollie's. It wasn't too expensive. It was $2.99. Andy, please don't do that. Come on. All right, that's enough. There's Andy. So, my daughter is very artistic, and I am so not artistic. So this is just a little thing for her to say, like, draw the hungry troll that gobbled up the 3 billy goat scruff, and then she drew the hungry troll. You know, draw the giant and Jack and the Beanstalk. So there's a beanstalk. She enjoys doing this. It's a cute book. And then she also does this. I don't have enough for my son to do it too, so my daughter just does it. And this is a great book. So basically we rip out the pages, and she'll have to read a section on an animal and answer the questions. And sometimes there's coloring pages, and there might be little like word searches and other games. And she enjoys doing it. She whines about it sometimes, but what can you do? So anyway, this is what we've been doing so far this year, and we do a lot of other reading besides. And I hope you like this video and that you'll subscribe, and soon I will show our new video. Thank you, Andrew.